We did it, Ranger fans. We did it. We survived another dreadful season of New York Rangers hockey. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the final regular season edition of 407 Rangers. It is your host, Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to go live, upload highlights, or do a community post, things like that. Well, as you guys know, the New York Rangers did play the Tampa Bay Lightning for the final game of the regular season. But let's be honest, guys, we're going to call them the Syracuse Crunch tonight because that's literally what the Tampa Bay Lightning put out on the ice. They had the Syracuse Crunch players, even the goalie was from the Syracuse Crunch. So good on Tampa Bay, even though they're already a winning organization and they're always in the playoffs. It's good to see that they're at least still giving like guys from the Syracuse opportunities to get like ice time, no matter what kind of position they put the Lightning in and things like that. But also, guys, if you do hear like some noise and things like that, don't mind. Those are my two dogs. They wanted to, I guess, be a part of the show, and they didn't feel like being alone in the room, so they figured they'd just creep here and bother me while I'm doing this. But anywho, yeah, good. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they really like, they didn't even have to have Gunso points or freaking Kucherov or Radish or Cicerelli or any of those guys. I mean, they're already in the playoffs. It'd be crazy to like have your starters playing tonight when like that's just injury liability. So got people be like, well, why aren't teams always never starting their star players in the last game of the season? Well, a lot of times if teams are already in the playoffs, it'd be crazy to do that because like why would you risk an injury when you know you're gonna need your star players for those playoffs? I mean, it's better to risk an injury in the postseason rather than a regular season. Now you can't even use your star player because he got hurt in the regular season for the postseason. So they've been doing this. This is nothing new. I mean, every league does this. Even in like baseball and basketball, in the NBA, people be complaining like in the last games, like, oh, I paid all this money. Why can't I see the star players? It's because the playoffs is right around the corner, man. They're trying to keep those guys healthy and conserve their energy for that because that's a lot more important than a regular season. The only games that are important for a regular season for the other teams is like the ones that are out of the playoffs and they're trying to finish strong and pretty much hope for the next upcoming season with the players they got now. I mean, that's how it works. That's the name of the game. But you guys can feel free to hop on the chat, say how you feel about the season tonight, because I'm gonna be here for a little bit. This is like pretty much the final bang of the Rangers season, so I figure I'll be on this live for a little while, talk to you guys on the chat since this is the final game of the New York Rangers. Now, you guys already know just because the Rangers season ended does not mean the content doesn't end here. If you guys are gonna wondering if I'm doing the playoffs things like last year, yes, I will be doing another content of NHL playoff hockey, and we're gonna pretty much break down like all the teams. I mean, we'll try to do a little bracket, breakdown on which teams I feel like can probably go on a deep run and things like that. So yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna be at it once again with the postseason content. I mean, yeah, it is gonna be weird talking about other teams other than the Rangers, but like I said, guys, I gotta do something if I want to keep this going. Now we are gonna do this obviously when the Rangers are in the playoffs. Since it's gonna just be like, oh, I'm doing this, and if the Rangers make the playoffs, I won't never make content. No, I would love to see the Rangers in the playoffs, but like I said, guys, I gotta pretty much do with what we got. So hopefully next season, Chris Drury, if he does things correctly, they might be a wild card team. We can't say playoffs just yet, but Rangers could easily, work their way into the wild card spot next season if Chris Drury is gonna keep the roster with the way it's going right now. Then, like you can have some hope. But we'll go ahead and talk about the game as well, because the Rangers did actually play good hockey tonight. They outshot the Lightning and they beat them by actually no, they didn't even outshoot the Lightning. The Lightning did outshoot the Rangers by 10 shots, but it didn't matter because the Rangers took the right shots at the right time, and that's how they managed to beat the Lightning by 2 goals. And they did have a power play goal in the middle of the game as well. They both had the same amount of power play opportunities. They had three. And for the hits, Rangers had 23 hits. The Lightning only had 18 for the face-off wins. Somehow, like, probably lead the league in face-off win percentages because they've always been winning the face-offs in every game, even when they lose badly. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. I guess the Rangers are good at winning face-offs, which is kind of a good thing, but be nice if like they used that for the whole season and they actually converted into points. But it is what it is. For the penalty minutes, they both equaled out and evened out at 5. Penalties drawn pretty much. Penalty minutes both evened out at 10. Block shots, Rangers had 16. Lightning had 11 for the takeaways. Both evened out at 4 giveaways. Rangers had 12. The Lightning had 20. Now, Alexis Lafreniere did finish the season with 57 points. I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. I thought he was going to at least gain one more, and that would have pretty much been his career high. So, not bad on Alexis Lafreniere for finishing the season strong with 57. So, that is actually good hope because next season, Alexis Lafreniere can definitely try to have like a 70 or 60 point kind of season. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if he at least goes for like 65 or 70 points. It'd be absurd to think that. JT Miller did finish the season off with 51 points. He had 17 goals and 34 assists. He also had 2 assists tonight. And Will Cooley had an assist as well. Kartye, man, he played his ass off tonight. He had 2 goals. He had this finished off the season with 19 points. So for once in my life, I will actually give Chris Drury his credit and flowers for having a waiver claim like Tye Kartye, and he turned out to be a really good pickup for the New York Rangers. And his energy and forechecking and goal scoring and passing was exactly what they needed for the rest of the season. And of course, you guys already know Gabe Perreault, he has scored a goal as well. Finished off the season with 26 points, so not too bad. He had 11 goals, 15 assists. I mean, you guys know he didn't play a full season. He played a little bit in Hartford and then pretty much got called up halfway toward the season. So obviously, if he had played a full season, we probably would have got like 35, maybe 40 points out of Gabe Perreault, which would have been not bad. And it's still not bad at all with how he finished off. So Gabe Perreault is definitely going to give the Rangers a bright future. Once he improves his skating and he has more muscle, yeah, Gabe Perreault's going to always be fun to watch because I already like what I'm seeing from Gabe Perreault. So I have no complaints. And of course, Connor Sheary, he had an assist as well. Mika Zibanejad tonight had 1 goal, 1 assist. Gavrikov, he had an assist as well, but I think nobody did even notice he had an assist tonight. But it is what it is. So as you guys know, the Lightning and Rangers played one more time, which I'm kind of mad that I didn't go to the game because that the main reason I wanted to go to the game was to see Kartye and freaking Sakura play in Tampa. But it is what it is. There's always next season. I'm definitely gonna try to like pretty much get a ticket for the next upcoming Tampa Bay Lightning games. I mean, by the summer, it'd be dirt cheap to do it. The best way to like set yourself up for NHL games if you're gonna try to see them live is always do it when the season ends. Like, it's a lot more cheaper for you guys to just get your tickets from well the app I use, guys. I would highly recommend if anybody looks for like tickets for NHL games for the next season or the playoffs. Just use SeatGeek. I'm not like promoting it or anything. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not even near that level yet, but I'm just saying that's the app I use personally when I want to go to a New York Rangers game around Florida. If I'm happening to go somewhere around Sunrise or Tampa Bay, I mean, I might catch a Panthers game next season as well because my little brother does live in West Palm Beach, and down south that's pretty much like if I go towards like Fort Lauderdale, that'll get me towards the Sunrise area because surprisingly Sunrise is right next to Fort Lauderdale. So it is a little drive for me coming from Orlando, but Tampa Bay is probably the closest one. That's why I go to the Lightning games over the Panthers because Panthers is a good little drive to go to Sunrise and watch the Rangers play out there. So the Lightning games are way more closer. But anywho, as you guys know, the New York Rangers were in the Benchmark International Arena tonight. And they did start off hot in the first period because, of course, you guys already knew Tye Kartye. He starts off the game with his goal, and Mika Zibanejad and Vladislav Gavrikov had the assist in that play at 4:42. And then in the second period, Tye Kartye was at it again, scored himself another one. JT Miller and Connor Sheary had the assist in that play. And then at 4:49, Gabe Perreault wanted himself something too, so he got a goal as well. And Will Cooley and Tye Kartye had the assist on that play, and from that assist, that gave Tye Kartye his third point. But the Lightning did answer back because I almost thought for a sec Dylan Garand was going to get a shutout, which was another good thing as well. I'm very glad that Mike Sullivan gave Dylan Garand like one more like start at the game tonight to be Igor's future backup goalie and for him to like get a little more of a developmental process and learning experiment doing this game. So good on Sullivan on giving Garand like like the final shot for the season. So Oliver Bjorkstrand did score the goal in the second period at 11:15 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Sabirin and Chaffee had the assist on that play, which I am sure those are Syracuse Crunch players. But Bjorkstrand's the only one that's I'm familiar with the Lightning. But on the power play, when the Rangers had the penalty drawn, Mika Zibanejad did score the power play goal. Sorry guys. In the second period at 12:46, Alexa Lafreniere had the assist in that play, and JT Miller did as well. But then in the third period at 51 seconds, Corey Perry scored himself a goal, and Gergenges and Lilleberg had the assist in that play as well. But it wasn't enough. They did try to have the extra attacker, but the Rangers managed to kill off the clock, and then they finished off the game 4-2. And of course, you guys already know that was the final game of the season. The Rangers officially finished off the regular season with 34 wins in regulation, 39 regulation losses, and 9 overtime losses. So, yeah, not the best season compared to what Tampa Bay finished off with because even with their loss, they have 50 wins, 26 losses, and only 6 overtime losses for the season. So, yeah, they had it way better than the Rangers, obviously. So, other than that, Dylan Garand did have a great night as well. He only allowed 2 goals. He had 29 saves and a 935 save percentage. So that is going to give you guys some type of good hope for the future. Because then, like I said, it'll be if Dylan Garand can keep playing good like that, then obviously he's going to be a really good backup goalie for Igor Shesterkin. And you kind of want to have like a more of a younger guy because I know he's like almost 30, he's like in his late 20s. But other than that, yeah, you kind of do want to see like Dylan Garand have like good potential because then it'll take the workload a little bit off of Igor Shesterkin as well. Because like I told you guys, for Igor Shesterkin, he's still an elite goalie. I'm not taking that away from Igor whatsoever. But like I said, in the off season, he's definitely got to work on that high glove because I can assure you guys, if you look at the chart at when Igor Shesterkin, like how many goals, where was the most goals like allowed in the season, I can assure you in that chart it's going to show you like the high five hole on the right corner was like a field day for every opponent that faced the New York Rangers when Igor was behind the net. I can assure you the high glove hole was just like horrendous for Igor this season. Other than that, like everything else about Igor, there was nothing wrong with, but that pretty much was like the biggest like downfall for Igor was his high glove because if you watch a lot of the highlights with the opposing players and how many times they've scored against the Rangers, it's always on the high glove. Always. Like it never fails. It's always in that same exact right corner every time. So Igor Shesterkin's gonna have to find a way to try to shut down that high right corner because like I said, man, they were out for lunch against them this whole season from that specific spot. So we'll see what Igor Shesterkin's gonna do in the off season. I mean, freaking Chris Drury, he's gonna have to figure out. I mean, here's the biggest thing. If you guys want my honest opinion on what the New York Rangers need, despite the older guys they have on the line on the roster, to me they still need to find like centers. If they're gonna draft like anybody, I would say either draft like a defender or if they end up in the top 3 picks, obviously they're gonna go for either Chase Reed or Gavin McKenna. But if they do end up in like the bottom in like the 6 or the top 8 pick, then more than likely they're gonna probably end up either trying to draft a center or another defenseman there's no telling. But the New York Rangers definitely got to try to look for more younger centers because that's what the Rangers definitely need the most. Need centers. They need centers that are going to be faster, be able to control the puck a lot better. Not only that, like they need they need centers that are going to be able to spread the ice out a lot more too. Because if you have like JT Miller at the center, it's just I don't know, man. It's just not going to work. I feel like JT Miller is going to be too slow for that position. If you put JT Miller in the winger, then that would probably make a little more sense because then he won't have to do as much of the workload of being a center rather than being the winger, which I'm pretty sure like they're gonna most likely do that. But if you ask me what line do I prefer next season, give me the Mika Zibanejad, Alexis Lafreniere, and Gabe Perreault for the first line because you guys already saw how good all three of those guys were playing together. So I would much rather see the Lofty, Perreault, and Mika Zibanejad lineup in the first line. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen with Vinny Trocheck as well. We don't even know if Vinny Trocheck is going to stay a Ranger next season or they're going to finally figure out what they're going to do with him in this offseason and probably trade him away. There's no telling. So we don't fully know yet where Vinny Trocheck is going to end up or if he's going to end up being a Ranger still next season. So I'm still a little iffy about Vincent Trocheck. I mean, Braden Schneider, apparently he's going to be a restricted free agent. Oh my goodness. If you ask me, Chris Drury would be an idiot to re sign this fucking guy, Braden Schneider. It'd be pointless for me. Like, I don't know what he sees in Braden Schneider. Like, he loves him to death. I don't know why, but I would rather see trade Schneider away. I mean, he's done way too many mistakes that costed the Rangers hella games. I don't even care if he like gives you guys a couple of goals and assists. He's done way too many mistakes that costed the Rangers tons of games and leads, and it's like I would not be sad if Braden Schneider goes. Now, as far as Matt Rempe, whew, man, Matt Rempe is going to have to figure something out. Like I told you guys, I don't know where Matt Rempe is going to end up when he comes back from his whole thumb recovery injury, whatever that was. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean, Matt Rempe is going to have to definitely do more than just skate around and be a big body and just hit guys and fight people because you guys already know he's not going to be the enforcer anymore. After that thumb injury, like his fighting days were over. You guys seen it firsthand. Like when he came back from his thumb surgery and things like that, he didn't even fight nobody. He didn't even want to fight nobody, and he wasn't even fighting nobody when he was skating around the ice and he tried to shoot the puck. That he was already like in discomfort with that thumb. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Matt Rempe. Not too sure, but if he wants to even be a part of this next upcoming season, he better work on something and he better turn that thumb like pretty much like unhurtable or something because if that thumb injury is going to really be bothering him for the rest of his NHL career, man, I don't know if he's going to last this long, man. I don't know how long he's going to last if that thumb is going to be holding him back from doing certain things in the NHL. Because you guys know how quick people are in the league to like move on from guys and already replace them. Like anybody's replaceable. Do not think for 2 seconds that Matthew Rempe is unreplaceable. You're out of your fucking mind. That guy will definitely be replaceable if he does not figure it out. And I'm sure there's tons and tons of fan favorites, guys who love Matt Rempe, but let's be realistic, man. Matt Rempe is going to have to be a goal scorer if you guys want to even see him be around or a part of this team. Because other than that, if Matt Ramper does not get something in his bag, it's going to be a very long season for him because he's going to most likely either be a bench reserve or they're going to send him down to Hartford because it's going to be either one for Matt Rempe. There's no telling what he's going to do or end up. I mean, like I told you guys, he's gonna have to figure it out big time. Now, JT Miller, I really hope he's gonna be like rehabilitating himself because obviously he was injured, and we already knew from Jump Street like he was playing through injury. So hopefully he redeems himself because even though he finished with 50 points this season or 52, it was still like the most meaningless 52 points. Like nobody didn't notice that JT Miller finished off with almost half of 100 points. So that's not good if like you already had 50 plus points and yet like nobody didn't really notice like that. So we'll see what happens with JT Miller in his situation. As far as Adam Fox, I don't know if he's going to either get the surgery done for his knee or if he's going to try to do some rehabilitation with that knee as well because I'm pretty sure Adam Fox is still injured and we're going to probably get everything confirmed once like the playoffs end and things like that and they'll probably like last season the players will start like confess like oh yeah my shoulder wasn't like at the best. Apparently Braden Schneider his shoulder probably was still messed up. But yeah, we're probably gonna hear like certain players were playing through injuries, and that's why they weren't at their best, or they felt like they were being regressed and things like that. So yeah, like I said, don't be surprised if you hear like this guy or everybody else was pretty much playing with something. So they're gonna probably use that as the narrative and the excuse as to why like the Rangers had a bad season, things like that. So we will see what happens. But yeah, guys, I mean, this season definitely sucked. Probably one of the worst home game seasons they've had in a long time. Still damning that they let the dark days get more wins than this current roster. I will never get over that, bro. Like it's gonna be like that's gonna be glued to my head forever, knowing that the New York Rangers once had a team that outdid the Dark Day Rangers, and they did it in one season rather than 4 or 5 seasons. Like I'm very surprised that the fans, because at one point in those dark days, it was so like bad that people were literally saying, "Let's go Hartford." That's how bad it got for the dark days. Now these are the dark days 2.0 still, yes, but the only difference is like they're just they've been winning a little more games this season. The only thing that saved them was obviously their road games because had they not been good on the road, they probably would have been known as like the team that had the worst home like season in like NHL history. Who knows? It was definitely for franchise history, without a question. I mean, surprisingly, the other team that did us that outdid us in the home season as far as being worse was the Vancouver Canucks. Now, surprisingly, the Canucks they've never ever had a first overall pick in franchise history. So if they do end up with the first pick this season, it's going to be the first time ever in their existence of the franchise that they've somehow got a first overall pick. And I think that's where they're trying to aim for because the Canucks were definitely tanking. They were tanking the fuck out of the New York Rangers. And now we got to hope that freaking oh man, the way it's designed right now for the Rangers, now that they won this game, it's pretty much they're either going to end up with the top freaking 4 draft pick or they're going to get either the top 8 or 10 draft pick, depending on how everybody else, either the Flames, I believe. Yeah, we got to see how the Flames finish the game tonight. And let me see which other team. Yeah, the Blackhawks as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, because right now, as far as the bottom teams, yeah, the Blackhawks. Right now, we are above the Flames, the Blackhawks, and the Canucks. So, yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough for the Rangers to get that first overall pick due to the fact that Calgary, Chicago, and Vancouver probably have more of a chance of getting that first pick. So that's why I said there's more of a chance that they're going to either have the top 5 or top 8 pick due to the fact that they're no longer in the bottom 3. Now they're in the bottom 4. So we're going to have to see how that turns out. But you guys already know, man, this was, even though this season sucked, you guys were greatly appreciated. And I was just happy to, give you guys the content. Even though the Rangers sucked, it was greatly appreciated. You guys showed all the support despite all the, like, abysmal this hockey team gave us. I was just happy that, every time I came on here, you guys were, like, happy to be, like, watching this and feeling like this is way better to watch than the hockey. So I'm always honored when you guys hop on here and get on the live or do the high or watch the highlights and let me know how you feel about the channel, things like that. So never ever think for a sec that I don't do this for nothing. No, you guys are the reason why I keep going no matter what. So it's been greatly appreciated. You guys stayed through the whole 82 games, and and we're gonna be here once again next season. You guys already know. I mean, we almost reached 300 subscribers this season. So as always, guys, it's been I'm always thankful that you guys always hit that subscribe button, hit the likes on my videos, and give me like the viewership and help this channel gain its growth and things like that. So you guys already know, man. I'm always gonna forever be like thankful and appreciated that I actually have like a little audience. Like, who would have thought like the Rangers being bad would have caused this channel to be created and things like that. I'm definitely gonna work on doing like room designs. Like, I'm gonna try to put like a big ass like New York Rangers banner right here on the wall, things like that. So this room doesn't look as bland and it'll at least give it somewhat more of a New York Rangers type of room feeling. I am still trying to tweak this room up and things like that. But yeah, the like I said, guys, it definitely sucked. I did not like that I always had to go on rants, and even when they did win, it was like certain wins still ended up being like meaningless and things like that. But as far as next season, I mean, I'm not too worried about next season. I feel like next season you're definitely gonna like probably get a lot more watchable games and things of that nature because yeah, this season I don't blame nobody one single bit if they feel like they got to put bleach under their eyes and be like the Men in Black where Will Smith had the flash thing and you want to forget the whole entire season. I don't blame no Ranger fan one single bit for feeling like this was one of the most forgettable seasons. It is totally beyond understandable. I don't blame nobody one bit for saying to themselves, okay, I got through this, but I'm definitely gonna act like this season never happened. I mean, the way they celebrated 100 years was definitely unfortunate. I mean, it seemed like it was like way too scripted. Like they wanted to outdo like what the Rangers did 100 years ago when they were bad. So there's no telling. I mean, I'm dying on that hill feeling like they definitely set that up purposely to like like to put the Rangers through some kind of humiliation ritual. But like the Red Wings didn't have it any better as well because they were celebrating the same 100 years because as you know they're part of the original six and things like that. So they didn't have it any better. I mean Steve Eisenman's definitely going to be on the hot seat. It wouldn't surprise me one single bit if like the Red Wings finally move on from him and they try to find a whole new GM. Otherwise, if they still keep him around, the Red Wings definitely like don't like to freaking see changes and win and then put themselves in the playoffs. I mean, bottom line, I feel for Red Wing fans. Like I told you guys, I don't blame them one bit if they feel like they are just fed up and they've had it with Steve Yzerman. I mean, the one thing I will give Chris Drury credit for is at least when he got here, they still managed to go into the playoffs a couple times. We've only missed 2 seasons, guys. 2 seasons. We got to be thankful and grateful that the Rangers are not a team that haven't been in a position where they missed like 11 seasons, 13, 14, like 15 seasons of playoff hockey. Like at least they've only missed 2 seasons. Yes, it does suck. Nobody likes to see their team freaking miss the playoffs and then they're super ass. Nobody does. But you guys already knew like the changes had to happen. We had to have moved on from the rest of the core. Now the only person left pretty much out of that whole picture from what was left of the 20 freaking one roster and things like that from there on is like Vinny Trocheck and freaking Alexa Lafreniere and Adam Fox and Braden Schneider. That's literally it. Like there's not too many guys left from that freaking core. But yeah, we're definitely gonna see a whole new depth soon. I mean, once Vinny Trocek's gone, the only person left is literally like Adam Fox and Mika Zibanejad and Alexa Lafreniere. Like and there's no telling if Braden Schneider's gonna be gone. I mean, I would love to see him gone. It'll make me happy as hell. And then the other meaningless contracts they got to try to move on from is Uwe Vakanainen. Like I still to this day don't know why the hell you give Vakanainen or Borgen a 5-year contract. Should have just given those two guys a 2-year extension, and nobody would have not even complained. But now Chris Drury has to pretty much try to move on from those two contracts. So there's no telling how that's going to turn out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, as far as JT Miller, he's just got to step it up. He better do what Mika's did because Mika Zibanejad is like totally forgiven for what he did last season. After what he did this season and putting up with the bullshit that this team was giving him, I will give him credit. He earned my forgiveness. He definitely did. He was nowhere near how he looked last season. He played way better this season. I will give him that. He finished off with 76 points. He had 43 assists and 33 goals. So I'm not mad at all at how Mika Zibanejad finished the season. He definitely turned it the hell around. And let's hope that Mika Zibanejad is still going to be doing those type of seasons where he's going to have a close to 80, 70 point type of seasons and 30, 40 goals and 50, and 40, 30 assists type of seasons and things like that. So I'm sure Mika Zibanejad is still going to pick up where he left off and things like that. As far as Adam Fox, the biggest thing for him is he's going to have to stay healthy. As long as he can stay healthy, he can be in that discussion for like the freaking Norris Trophy. Because if he wasn't like hurt, I feel like he could have been in that discussion for the Norris this year. Because the fact that he finished with almost 60 points and he was hurt, that's like crazy. So if he stays healthy, he could definitely finish the season with like either 80 to 100 points with the way he's been distributing the puck. The assists alone will get him to the 100 points. But yeah, with Adam Fox, he's got to stay super healthy as well. That's the only way like you can see like the very best out of Adam Fox because I'm sure he finished the season strong as well. He finished off with 53 points, so he had 9 goals and 44 assists, and that's why I told you guys the assist is going to be the factor for Adam Fox. But he's still going to give you a couple of goals. But like I said, the biggest key for him, he's got to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, then he'll be all right. And obviously for Igor, you guys already know, just got to work on the high glove. Work on that high glove. Noah Laba, he finished the season strong too. He had 9 goals, 15 assists, and 24 points. So we'll see how Noah Laba turns out next season. We don't know if he's going to be like a third liner or second liner. That's probably where he's going to more than likely end up. They'll probably keep him in the third line, but I could see Noah Laba like having a 30 or 40 point season as well. And if he works on his off-season games and things like that, and he actually like gets stronger, faster, and better, then yeah, he could probably go for like 45. Could definitely go for like 45. Taylor Radish, he only finished the season with 19 points. He had 9 goals and 10 assists. That's not the best, but at least it was something. Adam Sikora, he did finish the season with 3 goals and 1 assist. He had 4 points. So it's something for a call-up player. I'm not too mad at it. I mean, Adam Sikora definitely deserves a spot at the training camp and the preseason next year. Hopefully, we're going to see him in the training camp roster. Vincent Trocek finished the season off with 16 goals and 37 assists and 53 points altogether. So, not too bad for Vinny Trocek. I mean, you guys already know he's been hurt a couple of times, so he did miss a couple of games. So I will cut him some slack on that because Vinny Trocek wasn't too bad as well. He was definitely good at the face-off wins and moving the puck around and using his physicality and things like that. Will Borgen did finish the season with 15 points. He had 5 goals and 10 assists. And Drew Forsky, he only had 2 points. He had 2 assists, so he didn't give nobody a goal. Gabrikov, he finished his season off with 14 goals and 20 assists, so he had 34 points combined. Not too bad for Gabrikov. Obviously, people would have expected more out of him, but for me, that's not too bad. Matthew Robertson, after getting called up a couple times, he finished off with 18 points. He had 12 assists and 6 goals for the whole season. And Braden Schneider, this guy finished with 16 assists and 2 goals and 18 points. Man, he just sucks. And of course, Connor Sheary, he had 7 goals, 10 assists, finished the season off with 17 points. Jaroslav Kamlash, he finished with 4 goals and 2 assists, 6 points for the season, so not too bad for pretty much getting called up like after the second half of the season. So I got no complaints from him. Will Cooley, he did he finished decently. He didn't finish the best, but he had 20 goals, 17 assists, and 37 points. So Will Cooley was injured as well, obviously. So next season, hopefully, we're gonna see him have like a 30 goal, 20 assist type of season where he'll start trying to gain 45 or 50 points. That's what I'm expecting out of Will Cooley. I mean, there's nothing else for him. He's a physical player. He does distribute the puck pretty well, and he does get to where he needs to go when he's driving the puck towards the net, and he will give you a couple of goals. So as you guys see on that stat sheet, so I got no complaints with how Will Coley finished the season. So let's hope like we get more out of Will Coley. So not too bad for how Will Coley finished the season off. I mean, like I said, guys, we're gonna see what happens in the summer after the playoffs is all said and done, and then we're gonna go from there, and we'll figure out exactly what Chris Drew is gonna need to do as far as the offseason on how he's gonna have to tweak this roster for his whole retool 2.0 because it's definitely gonna be nothing like the whole 2018 retool letter. It's gonna be nothing like that because you're not gonna have the players or the depth and the way the roster is constructed, like you can't rush it. Like nope, this one's gonna be like a little slow process. So we'll see how that turns out. But as always, guys, I really appreciate y'all for tuning in this whole entire season. Like your support's always thankful, and you guys already know next season we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this all over again, and we're gonna talk about the. We're gonna obviously be here when the draft comes up and see where the Rangers end up. We're gonna probably have a live as well with the draft lottery and things of that nature. Next season, I'm gonna have a lot more plans and figure out like what to do to like get you guys more involved with this channel. As I told y'all a couple of lives ago, I am gonna work on creating like a watch party where like I pretty much set the laptop towards like my room, and then like I'll have the game on TV and things like that, and then like we're gonna just watch the games together, and then you guys can be on the chat, and we're all gonna be interacting and communicating together every time I go on the watch party because I'm definitely gonna do it. Absolutely. So that's one of the new things new features I'm gonna probably add in the channel as well. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna set it up and things like that. I mean, I do want to add like a couple of things because, like I said, guys, I'm doing this by myself, so it's not that easy to like try to like click on things and you'll see the stat sheets pop up and things of that nature. Like, you actually do need like somewhat of a team, or you got to be like a computer gizmo to be like able to upload all this with no problems, because it's definitely going to give you problems if you don't do things correctly. But as always, y'all, thank y'all for your patience and time and being a part of this season and channel. And you guys already know I'm going to always work on getting this channel much better. That's why I told you guys I'm going to be doing the watch parties and things like that. And we're going to try to get to like 300 subs or 400 by next season. I mean, like I said, guys, I'm always happy to see this channel grow. And you guys already know the highlights are going to be on the way for tonight's game as well. Don't you worry. I haven't been getting sidetracked, so thankfully I've been having more time to like catch up and give you what you guys ask for and things like that. But I'm also gonna try to do like a feature where I can try to invite you guys on the stream, and like you guys can pretty much do like the video chat. I'm gonna probably work on trying to get like either StreamYard or figure out how in this software, the OBS system, like how I can like get the link into the live chat, and then you guys can hop on the video and we all gonna interact and things like that. So I'm definitely gonna try to work on that because I do know a couple of guys that are familiar with this kind of stuff and they're actually good at what they do, somewhat to school for it and things like that. So don't you worry, guys. Every year I always try to figure out what I can do more to make people feel like they're a part of this channel. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna be doing like memberships or things like that. We're nowhere near that level yet. Like, it's gonna take some time, but I'm here for the grind. I am all here for it. I don't mind like watching this chat, being a part of the growth, and then staying humble about it. But other than that, guys, man, I am gonna miss like interacting with all you Ranger fans. But it's like I said, it's not fully over yet. We're still gonna do our off-season lives and things like that. It's just unfortunately the season is over for this current team, and we're gonna have to be on a break for the New York Rangers. I mean, I totally understand if people feel like they need a long vacation or like a mental vacation from this team. Totally understandable. But as always, guys, thank y'all for watching. It was a wonderful ride. We made it to season 2. Now we're going to work our way to season 3. And keep hitting that like and subscribe. I am going to have the lighting highlights uploaded. And then we're going to do like random lives once again in the off season. And I'll probably do a live to like talk about where the Rangers finished off like in the season with the league stats and things like that. And then we go from there, and we're going to talk about what Chris Drury is going to need to do, what kind of players he's going to need to acquire, what he's going to need to do in that front office to make things a little more like promising and feel like there's going to be some kind of hope for the future and things of that nature. Like you guys already know. So as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. It's been a hell of a ride. It does suck the Rangers didn't make the postseason. It was another shitty season for them once again. But hopefully, this back-to-back non-playoff appearances is gonna give Chris Drury a huge learning lesson that the way he constructed the roster wasn't the best, and hopefully, he's gonna redeem himself and maybe do something a little better and act like a smart GM for once. So we'll see how it turns out. But as always, guys, I will keep you guys up to date for the playoff bracket and things like that because I am going to do the playoffs, things of that nature. Friday, we're going to most likely do the playoff bracket because you guys know the postseason starts Saturday. I am going to figure out if I'm going to be doing it daily or weekly. You guys let me know on the comments or chat what you guys think I should do. If you feel like you don't mind me doing it daily or weekly, either way, whichever works for me. So I'll try to do it every day because I know the postseason they're gonna have games back to back to back, and it is gonna be a little tough to keep up with all the games. But I'm still gonna do it anyways because luckily with my ESPN Plus I can do like the multi-screen, so I can be able to have like 4 games on at once. So I'll be able to watch all of them, but it's gonna be like ridiculous for your vision to do that. But anywho, guys, thank y'all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thank y'all for being a part of this season once again. We're going to be here next season. Hopefully, the Rangers are going to no longer be a horrendous team to watch. The younger guys are going to give us this promising potential. And like I said, guys, the season is officially done. The show's over, but the content is not going to end. We're still going to talk about what they're going to have to do. The postseason is going to be around the corner, and we're going to actually figure out who is going to go in this Stanley Cup run. And I would love to see you guys on the chat talking about who you feel like is going to be in that postseason run as well. Because, like I said, it's about you guys. It's not just about me and talking about the Rangers. This is for you guys, the community. So, as always, y'all have a wonderful night. It's been one hell of a season and year for this damn team. But as always, guys, we were all a part of it, and I'm glad you guys were here with me. You could have went to any other Rangers channel, but you chose this channel. And as always, I'm humble and thankful that we were all a part of this bullshit ride, and I was able to talk to you guys about it, and you guys were able to talk about it with me. And like I said, it's not gonna end. Still gonna be content going on. And as always, y'all, let's go Rangers. Say farewell to these 100 years of this centennial season. It's finally over, guys. You don't got to think about the centennial jerseys anymore, any of that. Let's see what happens next season. Let's hope for the best. Chris Drury has one more chance. One more chance. You got to pass with Tye Kartye. You got to pass with Noah Laba. You got to pass with Gabe Perreault. So now you got to figure out what are you going to do with this young core you have now if you're really on this retool freaking situation. So as always, y'all, I will see you guys maybe tomorrow or Friday. And we'll see you guys next season for New York Rangers. But as far as the postseason, we'll see